Hey guys, Bobby here. Welcome back to episode 16 of the Doomsday Edition Minecraft Survival Guide Let's Play here on 1.16. So yeah, episode 16. Last episode we got rid of the Ender Dragon. Got rid of him. He no longer exists in this world. We despawned him, sent him packing, and we stole his egg over there. All right, guys. So listen, now it's time to start building some of the really cool builds, and so we're gonna start this episode off right up here on top of this hill. And this is where our video is going to take place today. So, to preface a little bit, this is not a, it's not a tutorial. I'm going to try to go over some in-depth, sort of details. But you should be able to build it by watching the video, but it's not a tutorial. I'm not a fan of tutorial style builds. I feel like they're just they're hard to do in survival, and it's much easier to do them in creative. And maybe in the future we'll do some tutorials in creative. But for this, no tutorial. So, but what we're doing today is it is time, guys. We've got a lot of really cool builds coming up in the near future. We're gonna basically fill up the rest of this area over here. I've got all of these little plots earmarked for things. We're gonna fill all of this up over here. We're gonna put something over here, and I don't know, actually we might not use that over there. I don't have that earmarked, but then I've got all of this area, this whole valley here earmarked as well. So essentially we're gonna fill all of this in, but in order to do some of those builds, we need iron, and right now, guys, our iron supply is not looking good. I think I've got 2 stacks of iron ingots, and that's about it. So today, we're building an iron farm. I'm taking this idea or this design of this iron farm from LogicalGeekBoy. So props to him. If you've not checked out LogicalGeekBoy, dude, he's got a really cool channel. I'm gonna throw the link down in the description below. But I really love some of his stuff. His stuff is really stinking cool. Actually, that's where I got the design for the not the mansion, but the breeder system that's built into the mansion. Actually, came from one of his videos as well. So in this video, we're gonna attempt to build his iron farm, one of his iron farms, and to do that, let's talk about some of the supplies we're going to need. This. So we're going to need several things, but not a lot of anything really. So I'm going to use, for my building blocks, I'm going to use black concrete, I'm going to use black stained glass, polished Blackstone Wall, black beds. I'm going to use the shroom lights and some birch fencing. I think that's going to look really good. The black and the white and then the light colored fencing. I think that's going to look really sharp. And I think it's going to really stand out in our world, but also kind of blend in and not be a big eyesore. And then additionally, we're going to need a bunch of dirt because there's a lot of floating like pods, so to speak, in this world, and there's a lot of really precise measurements. Something else we're going to have to do is we're going to have to bring over some villagers from the villager mansion. I have in between episodes started working on this railway system, kind of like a monorail. And the monorail, the idea there is to go from as far as the villager mansion all the way, and it'll continue here, come over, and then it'll cut down into that valley there. So it'll pick up basically the whole town, but just from the backside, and then there'll be little little chutes that come off that go to different locations. So that's what I'm thinking. So first things first, let's start out like this. So first things first is right up there at the top of that dirt is where we need to build our scare chamber, what I'm calling our scare chamber. And that's where the pillager that's his final resting spot up there. And all of our measurements really work off of that, okay? So we could, in theory, build up from this, but just to be on the safe side, I want to make sure that we get it exactly right. So we're going to start in the center. And to do that, I'm going to need to grab, I'm going to grab some glass blocks, and I'm also going to grab this polished Blackstone Wall. And I just realized I need 2 pieces of polished Blackstone Wall, not 1. All right, here we go. Okay, so we're going to need the Blackstone Wall. We're going to need a couple buckets of water just to play it safe. And honestly, I think that's all we need for that. Pretty sure it is. Whoops, that's not what I wanted to do. There we go. And then, let's see here. We got that. And there's my scaffolding. I was like, where's my scaffolding? Okay, so here's what we're going to do. We're gonna scaffold up. We're going to go ahead and scaffold on up here. And right at the top of this dirt, and I didn't go high enough. Right at the top, Mozart, bruh, what are you doing, bruh? You can't be up here. Come on, come back down here. You're gonna have to stay there. All right, now back up to the top, and right at the top of this dirt is where our Blackstone Wall comes into play, and we're going to go 18 blocks from the ground level up. So this is block number 18. So block number 19, we're going to go right there and come off of that with 1 just like that. And let's see here. Then I think I'm trying to go off of memory here. So we're going to go off like that, and then off like this, off like this. Maybe here too, and here, and there, like that. And then we're going to go up. So our pillager's going to be standing right here, just like this. And then actually, let's see here. I think I'm going to come. Okay, so that's done just like that. Now, off of the side here is the height of which we need the, let's see, it's actually going to be over, so we should be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and then on the 7th one, we're going to come up 1 more level like that. Now we should be in line with our outside edge, which is where those blocks right there are. So what I'm going to do to make it a little bit easier, not have to put so much dirt down, we're going to check the height. So we are at, what are we at? We're at 116, block 116. So I'm going to go ahead and go down, and then E. And then we're going to go back up, just like this. To 116. And let me think here for a second. 116. Actually, we need to go down one like this. And then, let's see. So we'll have a bed here, a bed here, and a bed here, or a bed here. Bed here, I think. I think we put a bed here. All right, so we're gonna go. All right, so now let's go. Now we've got what we need. Let's go off here with 2, just like that. And then we're going to go off here with 2, like that. And then we're going to go this way with 2, like that. And then, let's see, off of this side, I'm going to do one like that. And I think just because I want to keep everything looking symmetrical and like cool, this is one thing that LogicalGeekBoy didn't do. I kind of want to keep things like looking good, right? I want to make it look kind of fancy. So the villager's going to stand right here, and then I didn't bring the beds up, but there'll be a bed here, a bed there, and a bed there. And then off the back here, we need to kind of trap him in this spot. So we're going to put a piece of glass there. And then, let's see here, boom, like that, and then a piece of glass like that. And then we can take Samson, and actually, you know what? I think I'm going to leave it like that. Yeah, I think that's what I'm going to do. And then once we get him in here, we go back and we'll figure out a way to block him in there. But that'll come later. But that's basically the gist of the platform, minus the beds. We still have to put the beds in here. All right, guys. So now that we have our spooking chamber or scaring chamber or whatever you want to call that thing, but our chamber for where our pillager will end up being. We have that in place, and then we have our 4 pods around that for our villagers. So essentially, the way the mechanics work inside the game is that in order for a scared villager, right, so the pillager scaring the villager, in order for the scared villager to be able to spawn a golem, he has to have at least 2 buddies. So at a minimum, you have to have 3 villagers, right? So it takes 3 villagers to spawn a golem. That's basic, just the basic generic example of how the mechanics work inside the game in order to get a golem to spawn naturally. So 2 buddies, and then that 1 villager has to be within a 10 block square of the other 2 villagers, right? So essentially, the best way to understand it is if you had a villager in the center, then you would basically have a 5 blocks out and then 10 block by 10 block square all the way around. So that's how the mechanics work. And then the villagers will, or the iron golems will spawn a certain distance away from that. Now, the way we're maximizing the efficiency of this farm, according to the Geek Boy, is the fact that you have a spawning platform for a dedicated spawning platform for each individual villager platform, right? And then there's also distances there, so they have to be within 16 or at least 16 blocks away from each other, right? So that's kind of the idea. And then right away, we want to get that iron golem off of that spawning platform and down away from the villagers in a timely fashion so that they can spawn another golem. So that's kind of the basic of the mechanics of it. Definitely go check out his, he did a really fantastic video on like every detail that you can possibly think of the mechanics of the game. And essentially what I'm doing is just remaking a version of one of his iron farms in this farm. So this platform is done. Now let's go ahead and we'll jump right over here. Let's do some parkour. And we're going to go ahead and build another spawning platform right over here. So now the idea here is we want to come off of this side of the bed, so the back corner of the bed right here. We want to come off one just like that, and then one more, so 2 total, and then counting this block, we're going to go up 5. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, just like that. And then the next block will be our concrete block. And then we're going to go boom right there. And then we should be on the same level as that right over there. Okay. And then from here, we're going to go out 5 this way. So 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5, just like that. And then we're going to go 5 this way. So it's a 5x5 platform. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, just like that. And then we'll just go back and we'll fill it in and make it a full 5x5 platform, just like so, just like that. And I keep having to move my tools around constantly. But yeah, so we'll do that. And then now what we need to do is we want the golems to actually be pushed off this side right here. So what we need to do is we need to put some fences around 3 sides. So I'm just going to stick a piece of dirt there, and then I'm going to grab my birch fences, and I'm going to go out just like that and come across, and then we're level, we're pretty much even here. I'm going to go one more just like that, and then we'll go ahead and get rid of this dirt block. We don't need that anymore, and then we'll just take it around the side here just like this. Now how am I going to get, actually, you know what, before I do this, I am going to that was actually pretty cool. I didn't know that you would bounce if you jumped onto a bed. That's pretty cool. Whoa. I'm going to jump right over here, run down here real quick, and refill our water buckets. We need to refill our water buckets, because once we get that fence in there, it's going to be really tough for us to get out of there without that water. So then we'll head back up. There we go. All the way back up to the top we go. And then our scaffolding should be high enough that I can just take the scaffolding over a little bit and then get back there just like that. Perfect. Okay, and then now we will go ahead and finish up our fencing just like this. One more right there like that. Now the trick is, especially in survival, is getting our fence gates in place. So the way I'm doing that is I'm just going to take and put some dirt across here like this to give me an area to walk. We're going to take that one out, and then we're going to switch to our fence gates, and then we're going to go fence gate, all the way across just like this. Boom, just like that. And then we're going to go back on top now, right here, across just like so. And then we're going to go out one more like this, and then we're going to go back in here again and do not that. We're not gonna do that. Then we're gonna go boom, just like this. I'd put a couple more pieces of dirt in here. It looks like I just did it again. I gotta remember. I'm holding shift down basically. I'm crouching the entire time just because I don't want to take any chances of falling. And then we'll take and remove this dirt here. We will remove this dirt here. Just like that. Jump back over here. Remove that dirt. Now, that's how we need it to look so that you fall just like that. That was actually, my heart stopped just a little bit when I did that because I noticed that that my food or that my hearts were a little lower than topped off, and yeah, that was actually just a little bit scary doing that. So we'll let our hearts fill back up here as we climb back up to the top again. So just like that, that's how the golem would fall. And then we just need to put in the water system that's going to push them off. And you can do it with 3 buckets. We're going to go boom, just like that. And then let's grab another one and not fall off. Boom, just like that. And then one right in the center, and that will push the golems right off the edge, right off into the pit that's going to kill them. And then let's knock those off. We'll jump down here on this bed, take this dirt out here, just kind of clean everything up. Just like that, and yeah, that's it. That's all there is to it. So that spawning platform is now complete as well, and then we'll just go ahead and tear this back down just like that, and boom, there it is. It's two platforms there, 2 villager spawning platforms, and then 2 golem spawning platforms right above it. So now I just need to repeat that same process 2 more times for those 2, for the final 2 villager platforms. And then we're basically all wrapped up with everything in the sky, minus getting our pillager up there and minus getting our villagers put into place. Oh boys, I think we just got lucky. Yes, we did. Yes, we did. Yes, we did. Where's my food? Where's my food? Oh boy. Oh yeah. These guys are fast. Like super duper fast. Look how fast. Like they're really, really fast. Alright, now we need to eliminate, oh, yep. We need to eliminate 3 of them. Where's their headhunter dude at? Alright, so we got this guy. So now what we need to do is we got to get him trapped. Oh, no, dude, don't die, don't die. I've got my armor on. No, get back in there. There we go. Cool. Will it be enough to get him there? That'll be the question. Alright, so here we go. Let's try to put Roscoe up there in his little area. Will he make it? Yes, he made it. Sweet. Okay, now, that was the easy part. Now, the hard part is making sure that he ends up on top of that fence where we want him to be without hitting him. Now, get in there, and then we want to turn around, block it off behind us. Get him up there on top of that wall like that. And then Let's see. We need some glass to go right here and right there, like that. And then, let's see. Now, if we put, shouldn't have to do that. If we put water in here, I feel like he's bouncing up really high. So I actually think we need another piece of glass around here like this. Yeah, that's how it goes. Okay, cool. All right, guys, just getting back into the base here. I had to take a break from working on the iron farm for a little while. I ran out of concrete, and so I had to go collect some gravel and some more sand. And while we were out, check this out: 2 more tridents. We got 2 more tridents while I was out getting gravel and sand. And then we ended up finding 3 more buried treasure maps. One of them I actually went and dug up, and that's how we got the other Heart of the Sea and some other treasures here. And the other 2 I've not explored yet, because as you can see, my inventory is completely full. So is my ender chest. So and that's why we're waiting so long to do what have I got here? That's why we're waiting so long to do the mapping episode. I know typically in a lot of Let's Plays, mapping is one of the things that happens pretty quick on. And I don't want to get too deep into mapping yet, because it's much easier once you have 1, an elytra, and 2, more importantly even than the elytra, is shulker boxes. Because you could go on a a 2 or 3 hour, like you would do a mining trip. You could go out and do a 2 or 3 hour just ocean exploration or mapping exploration adventure, and you could come back with shulker boxes full of treasures and such. So anyway, I just wanted to touch on that for a second, and just show you guys kind of some of the stuff that we brought back. I got some more sea lanterns, a couple more crying obsidians, and just some different things. So anyway, just wanted to show you guys that, and then it's back to working on the iron farm again. Okay, guys. So I was just working on the catch systems for the iron golems, and I started thinking, like, I was gonna go ahead and finish them up, and I started thinking that I would hate to have an accident where either myself or one of the villagers fell into the lava. So I'm going to put a hold on that for a second. And then I also don't want a bunch of iron golems spawning once I start bringing the villagers over here. So that's my next step, is to get the villagers over here. I'm going to make some temporary staircases and throw some rail on here, just kind of temporarily, to get the villagers from the villager mansion over here into their designated spots over here. But before I do that, like I said, I don't want a bunch of iron golems spawning while I'm trying to get all of that finished. So what we need to do is we need to make an on-off switch, basically, for this thing. So according to the way LogicalGeekBoy does his, he basically just puts in some pistons with some glass that just shuts this guy off, because the villagers can't see through tinted glass. So we can see through it, but they can't. So what I want to do is I want to put 4 pistons, 1, 2, 3, 4, like that. And then when the pistons are closed, the glass will come up. So we need to put in some dirt like that, I think. And then let's see, that would be the void space. The piston would go there, and then one up top like this. And then this is kind of a backwards way to do it, but I think I can do it this way. Let's see, like this. Yeah, I think that'll work. So then clear this out like this, and then let's silk touch these pieces like this. Boom, just like that. And then let's see, I've got my 4 pistons here. Should go right here, right here. Let's do this without falling off. Right here and right here. Now, after that, we would have, let's see, glass, 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 and glass, just like that. Now, yeah, I think that'll work. And then where's my dirt at? We'll take the dirt and go up like this. Get the rest of this dirt off the top because it looks like doo-doo. Just like that. And then I need a block to put in the center here that's not dirt. Alright guys, so our villagers are finally all in place, and I've tested out the sleep mechanics, and they can get in their beds, but then when they wake up in the morning, the only place they're allowed to be is on that center block right there, which is where we want it. That's how we want it to be. Took a little bit of playing around, but it worked, and the sun is starting to go down now, so these guys are probably, looky there, already in bed. So that's good. That mechanic works. We're all set up. Everything up top now is completed. We have our spawning platforms with our water to push the golems off. We have our villagers in place. We have our pillager also in place with the on-off system. And now it's time to finish up the system down here for the this part of the process that'll catch the golems and then take them out and turn them into some precious iron ingots. So first things first, I'm thinking ahead about the delivery system of how I want the iron, what I want to do with it, right? I don't want to have to come up here all the time to get iron. I also don't want to have to come up here to go to each individual pod to pick up the iron that we've collected. So what I want to do is install a catchment system, sort of like an auto sorter organizer pickup system that takes the iron back to the storage unit. Now, I don't know that I have enough room inside of behind the scenes of the storage room to put in an auto sorter system that catches the iron. But we are actually going to be building some storage silos in the back section of the storage building. And so based on the amount of iron that we're going to be getting out of this thing, or what I think the potential that we have to get out of this thing, I think we should just make a storage silo for iron. Like, I feel like that's how much iron we're going to have. It's going to be ridiculous, the amount of iron. So what we're doing is there will be water in here. It'll come down. There'll be lava, fence gated lava up here. They'll go into the lava and stand and die. Along here will be a hopper line that drops down and feeds that hopper. Or I'm sorry, not that hopper. A hopper line that feeds the dropper. The dropper will go into a water stream down below, which will carry everything to a centralized pickup location for a railcart auto delivery system. I think that's probably how it's going to go. So I didn't have any smooth stone. So it's a real simple hopper clock circuit for this. Nothing crazy at all. So you're going to have your dropper, not a hopper clock. Why did I say hopper clock? It's a simple clock. Simple clock system. So you've got a hopper. You've got a dropper. You guys know what this is. You've got a dropper. The dropper is going to drop into the water stream down below. So, and then the hopper will feed it. So as iron and poppies come into the dropper, then it'll turn the comparator on, right? So comparator turns on, it powers a block. Right behind that, we're going to have a piece of redstone dust, and then we need another block there with a repeater out of that, and then another piece of redstone dust there. That's the clock. Then on this side, we need another piece of stone or smooth stone. We're going to power that block. It's going to go into another repeater and then another block. And then we're going to put another piece of redstone there. And that is what, so it's almost like a split clock. I'm sure there's a name for this circuit, but I can never remember what those names of the circuits are. So in theory, it should work like this, except I have that down there, so we need to unblock that. So in theory, it should work like this, except that I put my dropper upside down. Oh, man. I'm tired. Let's see here. All right, come across like that, and then down one, and then where did our dropper go? Dropper, boom, like that. Now it should work. So then let's test it. Perfect, just like that. And that's how it's supposed to work. So then we'll take this dirt back out of here, and then let's go back around, back up top, so that we can finish up the hoppers. That go to that. Let's see here, and I think I can actually just stand on said hoppers. All right, so hoppers. We're gonna need quite a few hoppers. In the general design, you don't really need that many hoppers, but just getting down to this thing, it is gonna take a few extra hoppers. So then we'll go one there, and then all of those. So all of those just funnel right down into that dropper. And in theory, you could probably get away with doing less. You could move that hopper clock circuit up closer to the surface. But I want it nice and deep just so that it's kind of hidden. I plan on doing some work up top here. And I just want to make sure that that it doesn't cause any problems. So you just shift click all of those into there, and then so now if you put something in here, it'll run across, funnel down into the dropper. The comparator will sense the circuit, and bada bing bada boom, you have a auto dispensing dropper that'll drop into the waterway down below. So that's that for that. Now we need to put in the fence gates and the signs that are gonna allow the golems to burn up, but still catch their stuff. All right. So to do that, what we're gonna do is, oh, hey, little baby zombie piglin. Where did you come from? To do that, we're going to take some dirt, put it along there as just temporary blocks, and then we'll take our fence gates just like this. I think that's right. All right, we're going to roll with that and see if it works. It's all testing at this point. And then, of course, we'll need some signs as well. So we'll do that, and then one right in front of it like that. And yeah, that should get it. Just like that, hopefully. Maybe. Hopefully. It's all a test in theory. This is the first time I've built one of these, so it's pretty excited about it. All right, now, so in theory now we should be able to dump this lava right there like that. And it go across, but I don't like the way that looks, so we're going to grab some more lava and pop back up here, and that's not going to work. Oh, do I have to use, nether fence gates, I bet. Yep, I have to use something from the nether that won't burn. The signs won't burn. I know they won't burn, but the fence gates obviously will burn. So that's not going to work. All right, so fence gates need to be made from something from the nether. So let's run down here to the storage building. I'm pretty sure I've got some of that blue wood stuff. Oh, it's so ugly though. I hate it. I don't care so much for the new nether stuff. Oh yeah, I do have a few. Maybe it's enough. Let's see here. 44, and then we need some sticks. More than that probably, but let's see. We need to go boom like that. Let's try that. There's 10 of them. No. I don't want to waste my warped planks on sticks. Let's see here. I guess if we have to go back to the nether to get them, it's not the worst thing in the world. Hey, dude. What's happening? He's lost. Alright, so let's put our temporary blocks back on here, and then we'll use our warped wood fence gates like this. Now, because that's from the nether, hopefully it shouldn't burn. Hear the hopper clock down there? That's because that dirt fell in there. Alright, so now in theory, let's see, watch out there, little zombie piglin. Now we should be able to put our lava in here, and we should be golden. Yeah, I think we're gonna be good. Alright, I gotta sleep before we start spawning a bunch of stuff. Alright, now the problem is I'd love to test this out and make sure that, you know, our iron golems are actually going to fall into where they're supposed to be. But if I turn it on, all the platforms are going to start spawning. Unless I went back and put like some glass around the other ones, and then they can't talk to each other, so then it's a pain in the butt. So we're going to go ahead and put our water in here. I'm going to need a third bucket. That should go, yeah, perfectly. That's going to go right up to the lava. Let's see here. Let's grab one more bucket of water. Why not grab two? And just to make sure. So then we'll go right in here and boom, and that's got us. There we go. So that'll push the golems right into the lava, which will take them out. And then their droppings, if some of the drops fall back into the water will just push them right into the right on into the hoppers. So that should work as long as we. You know what? I just decided I want to do something No, that won't work. Because if they're standing in the water and they catch on fire, yeah, that won't work. It's got to push them all the way over into it. Okay. Yeah. That, in theory, that should work. The only thing that would be a question would be as long as they land inside of the chamber. So as long as the drop physics are correct, then that chamber right here is good. So now we just have to do the other three. All right. So in theory, we should be good. We have all four killing platforms or chambers set up. We have our delivery system done up to the main hallway. So, of course, right now, any iron we produce is just going to flow right out here into this main aisleway. But I'm getting ready to start working on getting that system wrapped up too. But I can't wait anymore. I think we're good. So, villagers are in place. Pillagers in place. Platforms are good. As long as the spawning platforms are in alignment with where it needs to be. I'll be glad when we get that floor in. I bet you I've fallen in that no less than probably 50 times. But in theory, as long as everything else is right, we should be good. I think that's it right there. Alright, so yeah, so if we do this, now our villagers should see him and start getting freaked out. Yeah, I think it's working because they go to sleep but then they wake back up. And these guys aren't there now. Yep, I think it's working. Okay, so we just need to start spawning some golems. That's the only thing. So let's put a light there for him. And then we'll put that lever back on there like that. Now, let's see if we start spawning some golems once I get down here. I feel like they should spawn even if I'm close by. Maybe not. And we should be spawning golems by now. Did I get my measurements wrong? For the distance between them? They should be able to talk. I think they have to be within... I think they have to be within 10 blocks of each other or 16 blocks of each other. We should have golems spawning already. Alright, so I think we've got it figured out. So looking back at the video from LogicalGeekBoy, it looks like one thing that I did not notice was that he actually has 3 villagers, and I guess this should have probably kind of been common sense. Maybe I just was not thinking, or I just wasn't paying attention in that aspect. He has 3 villagers per pod, which would make a little bit more sense based on the fact that villagers have to be within 10 blocks of each other in order to... they have to communicate, they have to talk. I talked about that closer on earlier in the video, was they have to be able to talk to each other and say, hey, let's summon a golem. And so I forced 3 villagers in here, and I'll show you guys how to do that, because That's one thing he didn't really go over, especially playing in survival mode. In creative mode, it's easy. In survival, a little bit tougher to get 3 villagers into one single block. But I'll show you guys how to do that. The next problem that we have to address is the fact that my drop platforms are too close in, and every single time they're landing right on the edge of that block, and it's just barely catching them enough that it's keeping them from going into the water. But it is in fact working. That the system is working with 3 villagers in there. Like I said, probably should have been common sense in the sense that, oh, there's one right there. Should have been common sense in the fact that there's 3 beds, but I don't know what I was thinking. Maybe that it was just part of the design. That I don't know. Either way, that works. That fixed it. So now some corrections that need to be made. We have to get 3 villagers into the remaining 3 pods, and we need to adjust the size of our catch system. Probably not going to shift the whole thing over 1. I'll just add 1 more block around the outside there. So yeah, back to the back to the workboard. But the first thing I'm going to do is actually block off this pillager's line, or the villager's line of sight to the pillager, so that these guys will quit spawning. Oh, great! No, don't. No! No! You killed my pillager! Oh my gosh. Alright, well this video just got way more complicated than what it needed to be. Well, I guess while I'm waiting for another raid, I've got plenty of work to do. So, anyway, alright. So, yeah, okay. I'm gonna walk off here now. Alright, so I'm gonna show you guys how to get 3 villagers into your pods. It's not that hard if you just kind of, it takes a little bit of patience. Essentially what you're gonna want to do, let's get these guys back in here so we don't end up with a mess. So essentially what you're going to want to do is just come off of the pod a bit with some dirt or whatever, just some temporary blocks. Going to come off with some dirt just a bit. And then we've got the 1 villager that's inside the pod, that's trapped inside his regular spot. And then he can't obviously move out of there because the beds are blocking it. So we're leaving that 3rd bed in there temporarily. And then just building some temporary blocks to roll the other carts into. So we're just going to push these mine carts as far in there as we can get them, like that. This one I need to make it just a bit deeper. Just like this. We'll go ahead and break these rails out here. And then the idea here being that that we get them blocked in and then released from their carts before dusk, right? So we'll go ahead and bust him out, and then we'll go ahead and watch out, bro. There you go. So we'll go ahead and then bust him out as well. So now all 3 of them are in here. Now once all 3 of them are in here, go ahead and break. We've got this glass on top right here. We're going ahead and break these 2 just like this. And then go ahead and break this bed as well. So now they can all 3 move freely inside of this chamber. Now I'm going to try to knock out 2 of these at once. So I'm going to run over here. And then same thing on this one. I'm going to jump down in here and break that one. And then watch out, homie. You're in the way there. There we go. Then we'll break that one as well. And then once again, same thing. We're going to break the glass. Watch out, bro. Watch out, bro. Break this glass and then break this bed. Now what we need to do is wait until nightfall. And then what's going to happen is just like that, and then we'll grab our bed and we'll throw it down just like this. Boom, there you go, buddy. And then we'll go back with our glass now and put back over top, and then we can take our shovel and go ahead and remove all of this dirt around the sides, just like that. And come to find out, I did some testing because when it wouldn't work, I removed like my decorative blocks. If you look at LogicalGeekBoy's design, you'll notice that his stuff looks like that one right over there. It's really, really basic, no extra blocks. I wanted it to look a little bit more complete, so I did put some extra blocks there. And I thought maybe that might be affecting the overall design. And come to find out, it really wasn't affecting it at all. All right, let's put this guy in his bed now, just like that. Go ahead, perfect. And then we'll just put our glass over top. And then once again, now we can go ahead and break this dirt off around it, just like that. And then we'll remove these temporary blocks there so they can't come out there. And now when the sun comes up, they will be forced to all be in that same block. Okay, so finally, we have a pillager. And it wasn't because we had a raid. It was because I actually went and found an outpost and brought one back from like 1,500 blocks in that direction. So it was pretty crazy. And then I even took a bucket of milk with me to drink so that when I killed, the pillager, I wouldn't end up with the bringing the omen back and starting a raid. And yeah, that happened because I forgot to drink the milk. So anyway, the problem that I'm having, one thing, when you guys build this iron farm, dude, there's one of those rhinoceros things over there. I can't remember what that's called. The raid went away. Anyway, I'm not really sure what's going on. Anyway, so when you guys build this iron farm, one thing that I kind of took for granted and kind of was lackadaisical about, was the placement of the catchment system. I never dreamed that it would be as hard, or as, I guess, not hard, but as difficult as it is to line those up properly. I never dreamed it. So I've got an idea that I'm hoping will work. The first thing that I need to do, Ravager, that's what it's called. I'm thinking I'm going to do a 4x4 platform instead of a 5x5. I'm going to try it on one and see what happens. Now, since we've been standing here, I was about said that. Yeah, see, that one went in, so that one worked, and that was a long fall. But look at the daggum iron golems down here right now. Now, I will say this, that it's the placement of the height is good, because even with all these golems down here, they're still spawning golems. But I even moved those out a block. Like, I widened the depth of those things a full block at one point in time. And, while we were waiting on a dadgum, pillager, and it's still off. So I'm actually going to go up here. But this thing is, dude, if I can get this thing running efficiently, this is a heck of an iron farm. This will produce way more iron than I will ever need. I mean, like, it ran for like 5 minutes, and I went down there and checked, and we already had like 3 stacks of iron. No joke. And that's not including the ones that were like down here that didn't get caught. So yeah, I mean, it is a crazy nice iron farm. Building it and making it look pretty is a little bit more expensive. If I shoot this guy, will all the other ones come after me? No? Good. Okay, cool. So when it's working, if you can get the stuff to line up properly, it's a heck of an iron farm. I mean, seriously. So anyway, my thought is I'm going to try to make this a 4x4 platform and see if it will still work. I don't know, Logical Geek, he put a lot of effort, a lot of time into making his tutorial, and mad props for him. I am not the tutorial type. I like to build and just kind of show the after. It takes a lot of work to do a tutorial, but there are a few little things that I wish maybe a little bit more detail on in his tutorial. The information that he gave was amazing. Like, how many blocks away can villagers, can the iron golem sense that there's another iron golem around, or the villager sense how far away does that need to be? What's the scare distance for zombies and pillagers and ravagers, and different ways to take out the golems once they spawn, and all that stuff. The info was amazing, but the few little details that were left out could have really helped when I was building this. Like we talked about earlier, the villager thing, having 3 villagers in here. Now, granted, I probably should have noticed, just because there was 3 beds, there should have been 3 villagers. But I kind of got confused in the sense that I thought maybe they needed to sleep like closer to each other in a way or something if they were talking. And just the way it was explained, I thought maybe that they were close enough that they could still communicate. So like these 3 could still communicate, these 3 could communicate, or so on and so forth. So I didn't even think about that. Another thing would be like kind of the location on the ground of the platform that's going to take the golems out. That would have been good to know too. Like I said, not knocking it. It's an amazing tutorial. I just wish there was a bit more information based on what I was trying to do, right? So anyway, I'm going to try to make this a 4x4 and see if that will still work. And the way I'm going to do that is I'm not going to take it from here, because they seem to spawn mainly here, like in this area right here. But sometimes they move this way when they're coming off. And man, that's going to be a pain in the butt to get all of those fence gates, and I'm going to have to go down to get them, I bet. And they're going to probably fall in the water. That's for sure going to happen. Duh. That's absolutely going to happen. Well, I guess I'll just... Well, it doesn't matter. Oh, yeah, because I was going to make it 4x4. So, yeah, that does matter, actually. I do need them. I do need them, says me. Let's see. Let's try it. Where's my axe? Oh, my gosh. When that raid was going on, I just kind of literally dumped my stuff anywhere. Anywhere I could find a spot to put it, I stuck it there. So, Anyway, I'm going to go round up my stuff, and then I am going to make sure that this raid is completed, because it said it was done, and then I come over here, and then there's a Ravager out there. So I'm going to go check that out and see if I can find my axe. And, dude, should I trap this Ravager? Dude, he's gnarly. I'm not going to trap him. Alright, so just drop this one over here to a 4x4, and it definitely works. And I think that's the way to go. At least in our case. It takes a lot longer for me to tear that apart and rebuild it than it does to jump up there and rebuild those platforms, or knock those platforms down to a 4x4. But those are definitely working. And I mean, they appear to be spawning at about the same rate as before. All right, so doing the 4x4 definitely works. It works great. I don't see that it's causing any less spawn in the delay. And now everything is hitting. Now, with that said, that doesn't mean you have to do a 4x4. However, if you think about the efficiency, right? If you start thinking about the efficiency of this farm, and let's say you have a 5x5 or a 4x5, and let's say that villager or that iron golem spawns back here like that one just did. If it has to go 5, it has to go one additional block further. A 4x4 will work, and it'll shave off a little bit of time, not a lot, but over the course of 4 of them, over the course of a few hours of AFK, that could cut off a significant amount of time of that break in that time factor of when they can reset, that timer can reset. So knowing that you can do a 4x4, I would definitely recommend just going 4x4. Now, one thing I need to do here, I was coming over here to make sure that I didn't have anything floating around over here. I had a lot of stuff fall into the mix while we were up there working, and I wanted to make sure that it didn't get hemmed up. So both of those hoppers are locked hoppers. One is locked for iron, and the other is locked for poppies. So this one here is locked for poppies. The poppies will get sucked in here, go into the composter, and then when that makes a full batch, you'll end up with some bone meal. So the bone meal is not going to go anywhere. I'm just going to leave it, like I said earlier. I'm going to leave it in this double chest here. It'll take a long time to fill up a double chest with bone meal. So that'll just sit there. If we need the bone meal, we can come get it. I've already got this all kind of tied in here, sort of. We'll tie it in here, and then this track is going to go back over here, which is going to turn and go into probably the next video, maybe. We're going to do some storage silos in the back of the storage building, and one of those silos is going to be for iron. Because with this iron farm, I have a feeling we're going to have so much iron we're not going to know what to do with it. Which is perfect timing, because I think I have literally four pieces of iron left in my stock. So yeah, so it's perfect timing for the iron. I'm excited to see this thing working. Maybe we'll do an AFK and do some numbers and see what kind of numbers we get from the iron farm. Definitely a little trickier on this one, just building it. Like I said, just to recap real quick, 4x4 platforms will work for that, and that'll help shave down some time. Doing the solid bottoms to make it look a little bit better, make it look a little bit more filled in, also not a problem. That works. The pillager, definitely name tag him so that he doesn't despawn. And then another good thing to note is we are using a pillager, not a zombie. The reason being is because a zombie's scare range is less than a pillager, and the way this thing is laid out, it's laid out so that you can spawn golems on each platform, right? So if it was closer, if we pulled these corners in and put a zombie in there, then these platforms would be too close together and they wouldn't all be able to spawn a golem at the same time. So that's the reason for using a pillager. What else was I going to say? Oh, the drop platforms. The drop platforms, I would say when you get ready to build, spend some extra time checking the drop platforms. A trick that I thought of after the fact was leave the fence gates off. And before you build anything down here, leave the fence gates off. And pour some water and let it waterfall off on either end on both sides, and then that way you can see where it would fall on this side, where it would fall on that side, and then that helps you with your depth too. I feel like that would have been smart on my part to take a little bit of extra time to do that. And then one more thing, don't forget, you need 3 villagers per pod. You need 3 villagers per pod. And then, like I said, we went over that. I showed you guys how to get 3 villagers in the pod using the railcart system and keeping it all vanilla survival. So yeah, I think that is gonna do it for this episode, guys. Man, I am so happy to have this thing done. This video has taken me the better part of 3 days of playing to record. Not 3 full days, but just 3 individual days to record this episode. Just with work and everything else, it's been crazy. But you know, it feels good to get it done and have a good, constant source of iron now coming in. So guys, if you haven't already done it, hit that subscribe button. We've got a lot more cool builds coming up. We're going to do a mob farm. We're going to do... I'm undecided if I'm going to do a full mob farm or if I'm going to do a creeper-specific farm because we need gunpowder. Gunpowder is what's coming up, going to be needed coming up once we do some in-busting and get ourselves an elytra because we're going to need some fireworks. So I've yet to decide if I'm going to do a full mob farm or just do the creeper, but we'll figure that out. We're going to do the storage silos. We're still going to do an auto smelter system. And yeah, we've got some other stuff. We've still got to do some ocean monuments. We've got to go find, once we get an elytra, we've got to go find the woodland and forest, the temple thingy. Yeah, there's a lot to do. A lot of cool builds coming up. So don't forget to subscribe. And while you're at it, hit that like button. It does us a lot of good, and it's greatly appreciated. So, guys, until next time, play some Minecraft, have fun, and yeah, goodbye, everyone.